Root Rider Valkyrie is still the strongest troop in Clash of Clans, but this time we're gonna use the Snake Bracelet and the Rocket Spear to see if this one is going to be dominant. And let's dive in and see this video. Alright guys, here we are, and this is going to be the army as you saw from the intro as well. Now one thing it's going to be the key in this army is the Snake Bracelet and the Rocket Spear. You might be saying, how do I use the Rocket Spear in this type of RC charge? Now first let me tell you, this is going to be an interesting one because obviously I have not failed yet in this season with this strategy, and it's amazing how it works. So we are having a nice RC charge around this side of the base, which gives us a nice funnel that I will show you later on. And guys, the Rocket Spear in this strategy is going to be used in the middle of the base. That means sometimes if you skip certain defenses, or if you skip the town hall, if the overgrowth is just barely going to be dismissed, you can use this RC like Rocket Spear to try to get that value quickly, and RC will stay back, generate HP while your Root Riders move forward. Now look at this, we have the king on the outside, we have an ice golem. In case you're diving into damage with Root Riders, use the ice golem in front of them, but if not, you can see how much the ice golem brings value. With the skeleton spell on that side and the king and snake bracelet, they're doing an amazing job. Now this ice golem actually came from my troop launcher that if you saw from the intro, we do have two super Valkyries and an ice golem. The first shot of the troop launcher is going to be ice golem, and the next two is two super Valkyries. This will help us inside the base and on the back end a lot, trust me. Now I'm gonna go ahead with the overgrowth on the monolith and that fire spitter. King and queen doing nice job still on the right hand side. We're moving towards the town hall in a way, but you know, slowly and surely. Now one of the Valkyries died and the rage spell just dropped, so it's unfortunate I used my own rage, but it is what it is. Now notice this, now that overgrowth is gonna slowly go away, so this is where you can pop a rage spell, you can pop if you want an invisibility spell, and then have the RC Rocket Spear trying to get the defenses that the Root Riders missed and they're going away from. So the RC stays back, get those defenses done, and she moves forward. This entire method is always going to be in a way that your Root Riders is going to be protecting the RC, and sometimes in some bases you don't need exactly 4 invisibility spells to run with your RC charge, so you can keep one of them and just use it in the base to keep the RC protected. You need some practice obviously to get the right timing of the RC ability, and obviously don't let her go too much below HP because then she's gonna just die through and it won't be worth it. Now let's move on to the second hit. Next up we have this base that a lot of you may have noticed. The way the 4 heroes are on the town hall, we do have a heavy rage tower that you need to overgrowth half of it. Whenever you see such rage towers and you're diving into 2 fire spitters, always make sure you overgrowth half of that rage tower, and in this attack you're gonna see how that RC ability helps us. So we have these invisibility spells dropping nicely. What you want to do is to take slight bit of damage, then drop the invis. Now I want to redirect the RC, so we get these 2 defenses and we have a more clear path from this monolith into the base. Now I'm going to keep the RC going, notice this, then I'm gonna recall her, but because of that we actually activated the tornado. I've seen many players that when they get the value and they have no more invis, they just recall the RC. Guys, let her go, even maybe take a few damage, but let her reach the next defense so you can activate as many traps as possible, and in our case that beautiful tornado trap, activating the town hall invisibility. But because we're too far from it, it's going to be back at it again, so it doesn't matter too much. Now we have the main army going inside the base. Delay that troop thrower slightly, you don't have to spam it right with your army, you can delay it slightly so it drops those ice golem and the super Valkyries into the base and not behind your troops too much. Now I wall breaked on the top side, I'm gonna pop the warden ability. This gives me a little bit of chance to try to funnel my king into the single inferno, but I just didn't want to do that. Now we do have the overgrowth on the top side, not too many defenses, but still going to give our main push into the base. king ability goes off. With the snakes, he can take down the town hall. Now notice this. This is where enemy invisibility tower is going to help my RC go invisible. This means I can pop her ability and I'm actually going to drop a rage spell right on top of my RC. And notice this, she is taking down the town hall enemy queen, and then she's gonna turn back, hit the multi-inferno and the fire spitters that we left behind. This is obviously an overkill attack, so the RC ability is not the key to getting the triple obviously, but it's something that is cool to do whenever you are in need of doing certain things. Like obviously the hog puppet is good, but in hard mode I've noticed the hogs just die so quickly, and in legends whenever you pop the RC ability, either it's like the end of the attack and you actually don't need it that much, or whenever you pop it, it's like 2 giant bombs. So what's the point of the hogs when you can have this ability? You just need to be slightly kind of, I would say, have your attention so your RC doesn't die through her ability. But yeah, that would be it. Let's move on to the third hit. Now here we are on the third attack, and we have a double rage compartment. Now a lot of people love to get one of the rage towers with their RC charge and send their troops to the other rage tower. Well, now I'm gonna show you this other method of attacking the double rage, which you actually don't need either of even defenses inside the rage spell. You just need a funnel in between them, so you can send your army into one rage tower and then you can overgrowth the other one whenever it's going to be activated. So my RC chose the left side, which I was actually quite happy about, because this means I can recall the RC and then send troops into the Giga Bomb. This is a little easy path, as you can see, into that multi-inferno, which is then the town hall. So the pathing is set. This is why I don't attack from the right side, because my root rider can move to here and then move away. It's just way messier than the left. So we're just gonna hit the left. Let me see what we can do with this ice golem. Obviously tanking for the enemy queen, going to pop my own queen ability so the giant comes. The yeti also is helpful. Now notice this, we're gonna go ahead with our main troop. I didn't wall break here because I want the king to move away from this compartment. Otherwise the king just goes into the army and it's not ideal. The snakes, the spiky ball, it's all going to be wasted. So I'm not yet going to wall break anything, so I'm letting the king and queen move to the left. But obviously the giant bit through the wall and it's unfortunate, we can't do much about it. Warden ability catching everything, and this is where you wait for this rage spell. If it's too late, go with the early overgrowth like I did. But if your troop, you are reaching it really quickly, you can go ahead and make it like kind of overgrowth after the rage drops. Now this is where you can see the RC was going low, so I'm popping her ability, and notice this, she's taking down the early like defenses that was around that overgrowth spell. This is just very much showing you how good it is to clear these major defenses from the base, so once the rage tower goes off, we can just get through this entire backend really simple. That is why the RC ability is really cool to use in this army. Obviously not the best wall breaker drop, but still, we're moving through. We have a rage spell, we do have a free spell. With this army, obviously sometimes you need to keep this type of spells, so you can use it with either your king in the back end or your RC whenever you pop her ability, just like our last attack when she was under too much damage and in a decent area to be able to pop that rocket spare. Going to get this triple nicely as well. Obviously one scattershot and a multi-inferno, which are very low, and this is where you can see we still got that one super Valkyrie. One of them I believe died, but now one of them is going to rage this troop through the wall. Like you can see, if you are running low on time, this is just a game changer back end rage spell for you. So obviously it's not always going to be okay, your super Valkyries are the ones that are getting the triple, or your RC ability is getting the triple, or your snake bracelet. No, everything coming together is making this exact army so powerful. And let me show you, like I'm telling you, I have not failed with this army like since I don't know how long, but obviously since the event troop has been gone, and obviously I haven't yet attacked today's, and yeah, oh my god, the defense is going crazy. But still, I'm going to show you one more hit, and I really want to get a double poison for you. That things went quite wrong. So my RC value on the last few attacks was good. It was a decent funnel. And on this one, I really wanted to get the RC into the single inferno so we can get this entire 2 little compartments. The Teslas did mess us up slightly, I don't know how much, but it wasn't too much. So after this air defense, I wanted to make sure this bomb tower, like, it's going to be invisible, but I was a bit late, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna make the mortar invisible. But then she didn't go to the splitter, and this kind of, it's just not how things work, okay? It's really bad funnel. And on the next attack, actually, I'm going to also show you a very bad RC charge by myself, so you can see the power of the strategy without having the nicest RC walk. King on this side, notice this, we have the snake bracelet. All you need to do is just go with the skeleton spell on the monolith. It was a bit late, so the giant is being destroyed, but it is what it is. Ice Golem in front of the single inferno, and the Royal Champion did not tank too good, so we even lost the Root Rider, and on this army you have only 4, so watch out. Now Troop Launcher slightly delayed. This is where things could go either way, so make sure you overgrow one of the sides to push your army where your king and queen are most likely kind of going to be, so you can save them and kind of push everything with each other. You don't want them to go separated. Now on this attack, you can see my RC is actually not going to give the best value anymore because she's dying out, but she still got a poison tower and made that enemy queen really low. On the top side, we still got some army that, you know, the bats and the headhunter is helping us a lot. With the rage spell, we can get through this entire side nicely. I do have the king ability for that side. One wallbreaker was a bit late, it could have been better, but it is what it is. So even with a bad RC charge, I was able to get this crushing triple. We got 2 super Valkyries in case we were running low on time. They can really help, they can provide the range, they can provide tanking, and they're quick. I'm telling you, like, sometimes you might not even use the perfect value out of them, but sometimes they can be a lifesaver, and you're like, I really appreciate that Valkyrie in my clan castle. So obviously this would be it. Now I'm gonna go to our CWO because it's been crazy. Everyone is attacking with this Root Rider army, and I want to show you my attack that things went wrong. I believe it was this one. Yes, it's this one. So what I wanted to do was to send the RC to the monolith, because obviously you want to get that monolith out the way. It's just a bit annoying. So what I did was a very late invis on this again area, because I thought the RC would go to the left. But now, oh my god, the fox is also dead. We didn't go to the monolith. And notice this, I made the ricochet invisible, so now I'm not even going to get the ricochet or the expo. This value is just laughable. We got literally 1 multi-archer tower, I believe, and just an archer tower. It's crazy, maybe in a mortar, but it doesn't matter. Now notice my queen ability, I need to pop it quick. This means I cannot give this builder too much time. This is why I love the giant arrow with this army, even if I'm doing CWO where the base is not having invisibility tower. So I always tell you, if you can choose the base and it doesn't have invis tower, you can choose the magic mirror with the giant or the action figure. But on this attack, I always love how you can finish what the RC couldn't with your queen. Early rage spell, look at this sneezy, providing this tanking for the healers. King and the giant are going to the left. Now watch this, I'm gonna pause it. The super Valkyrie from our troop launcher is actually going to be helpful here to get through those walls, okay? Watch the left as well. Meanwhile, we're gonna overgrow the top side, so again we can push our army where the king and queen are. We don't want them to go in 2 rows. We want them to stay with each other because they can provide too much tanking. So 1 super Valkyrie is still here, the rage gets dropped, and here is where I drop my rage on the RC. You can go with the RC ability right around this area where the overgrowth is becoming a bit more diagonal, like it's going away. So now we can see the value, these ice golems or the super Valkyries or the rocket spear or the spiky bow. This is how crushing you can get. You can see we got 4 heroes alive with that absolute abomination of an RC charge. So you guys tell me, do you like this army or not? Because obviously soon I'll be doing a kind of a full entire guide on it, like a masterclass on blueprint. So we'll have to see, and if we do it like in a way that is quickly out, we can put it in the kind of the pinned comment of this video. So if you want, you can go ahead and watch it there as well. And don't forget, as always, use code BLUE. If you have any suggestions, make sure you leave it down below in the comments. We'll always read and try to respond to everyone. And hopefully again you guys enjoyed this video. See you soon tomorrow or the day after, whoever knows when, but take care and peace.